Come on, musical. There are crimes in many places. Never committed, no. You see, so if you see crime reported, don't tell her in your head or the rest authority. Well, they can't take care of it. Come stop by here for us. When you set that to your door, whether you reach or you fall. If you see a human talking, I mean you check. Whoever accepted, if you see it, don't keep it. No part of the boy. The people bringing shelter to your door. Stop me cry and make it before them before. Stop on Nigeria. On the second to interior. People outside the stopping ground for all of us. The people bringing shelter to your door. Stop me cry and make it before them before. Stop on Nigeria. On the second to interior, people outside the stopping ground for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sign.
The people bringing shelter to your door. Stop it, cry and make it peace for them before. Stop for Liberia. On the second to interior. People outside the stopping ground for all of us. The people bringing shelter to your door. Stop it, cry and make it peace for them before. Stop for Liberia. On the second to interior, the people are safe, the stopping ground for all of us.
That's the responsibility of Crime Stoppers Liberia. They are bringing safety to your doors. All right, so folks, you heard it from them. You know, when a crime is committed, the first point of contact is the Liberia National Police. So, folks, whatever we do, we need to put our trust in the police, right? They are the first point of contact. And we are also asking the police to not be used by politicians because the police is a professional area. They are there to protect and serve. All right? So Crime Stoppers is telling us that we should follow the rule of law in our country. The rule of law must be the first and foremost thing that we should respect because this is a country of law. Though there are people in high places that are violating the laws, but for us who are ordinary citizens, because that has to describe us, ordinary citizens, we are crippled financially, right? We don't have the finance to fight our battle. So whether we are right because of the lack of financial power, sometimes, things go against us, knowing the fact that we are right because we don't have the financial strength to fight like others who have it, our case sometimes go against us. But folks, like I said, whatever we do in this country, we need to, respect the rule of law. It is very important for all of us. It's very important that we should respect the laws of our country. Fellow Liberians, those of you on the sign of our voice tonight, please respect the laws of our country. You know you work hard to earn what you have. You will not sit there and allow somebody just come and steal from you, and damage you and and do harm to you and all of that. But when the criminals are caught, let us not take the laws into our hands, beat them to death, you know, hurt them, and do all kinds of ugly things to them. Crime Stoppers is telling us, and the laws of Liberia is also telling us that that is not the way forward for us as a country. It's good to be law abiding. Yes, we know in our country the laws have been broken by the very lawmakers. But what we need to do is to engage them. When they go wrong, we need to tell them you took the wrong stand. This is the stand you should have taken. This is the way you were to go. But taking the laws into your hands is not the way forward. So Crime Stoppers is telling us, together with the laws of our country, that we should be law abiding. The criminals, they are desperate. We know that. They get into your homes. They sometimes rape your daughters. They sometimes rape your wife. They sometimes sodomize your boys' children. All of these things hurt when you see it happening in front of your very eyes. But we still need to put the law first. Only the law can save us. Only the law can save us. We see so many lawless things taking place in our country. People are disrespecting the law. People are in violation of the laws of our country. But we still need to put our trust in the police. They are the first point of contact. There is nothing we can do. If there is a civil matter, let's engage the court. If there is an issue that can be compromised by the police, it's left with the parties involved. But you know, disrespecting the laws will put you into serious problem. You may be on your right, but when you don't follow channel, you sometimes get yourself caught up. That's why we are here encouraging you. Don't be like the other people who are violating the laws of our country. Those people will be judged by history tomorrow. That doing your turn, doing your time, this is what you did. You disregarded the laws of our country. Yesterday, we all saw what happened involving the motorcyclists and the Liberia National Police. I was opportune to listen to the Deputy Inspector General for Operations, Nelson Freeman, who said that a truck ran into a motorcyclist that led into the action yesterday. About 200 to 300 men, according to him, took to the streets, started to vandalize police properties, chasing after police on yesterday. Other eyewitnesses are saying that what transpired yesterday was the negligence of the Liberia National Police. Because when this rider was stopped, he was interrogated right to where he was stopped, knowing the fact that, he was in the middle of the road. And this truck, defective truck, came and ran into them. Some of you saw the video that led to the motorcyclist action yesterday. This is the same thing we are talking about, respecting the rule of law. This is the very thing that we are discussing here tonight. People should respect the laws of our country. You know, accident is not intentional. And the reason we would blame the police for what transpired on yesterday, it is because the Public Safety Division of the Liberia National Police failed to do their job. The Public Safety Division. Because the police concern should be the safety of the people. So it is time that these defective vehicles that are flying the routes, they need to stop them. Because most of the trucks, most of these buses that we call killer bean, most of them are defective. The brakes not working properly, the signal lights, the headlights. Who's responsible to have all of these things checked? Is the Liberia National Police. That's why they have the Public Safety Division. The safety of the public comes first. The safety of that driver too also comes first. But when you're driving a defective vehicle, this is what you get. And that very area that the accident took place yesterday, many times when we get to that point, you got to take your time because the police, they got an iron there that they can use to barricade the place. So the good side of the road is where they will barricade. Then the cars that are coming from town and the cars that are coming from across the bridge, when they get to that point, everybody want to get there, ahead. We've been saying this thing, we've been complaining to the police. You need to remove this thing from here because it's going to cause problem one day. We all saw what happened on yesterday. You see somebody coming on a motorbike with passengers, you won't chase after them, you won't hit them, you won't do this to them, you won't do that to them. So if you know this, the rider is not, wearing his protective gear, there is a way to go after them. They have a union. Get in contact with the union to call their people and tell them what is going to be the action of the police when they are, caught in violation. Sometimes we also tell the riders because we ride motorbike every day. Oh, you won't be taking money from us. But you don't want to buy your protective gear. When the police coming after you, then you're in danger of the passenger's life. Look at what happened yesterday. That rider left his house to come and hustle. By the end of the day, his death news went to his family. Because of that, motorbikes, commuters having serious issue today, you know, getting by to take them to their destination. You got the motorbike security, you got the police security. The work the motorbike security is supposed to be doing, the police will be doing the same work. So the responsibility of the motorcycle security is to have these guys, arrested and turn them over to the police. That this man is not properly geared. He doesn't have all of his riding particulars. Or the police or the motorcyclists or everybody be just doing things on their own. So the bad side of the road, that the bad side, everybody can be passing. Because of that accident yesterday, we saw today they removed that iron that they always, block the road with. And I bet if you're passing around there now, you will see that iron is back on the road because at about this time, they are carrying on inspection. But the way that things are going in the country, the police is being used by the politicians. The police is for everybody, be it opposition, position, or disposition. The police is for everybody. The police not supposed to be selected in doing law enforcement. Or because you know this person, so you allow this person to go because you don't know this person. You will stop them from going. So the police got to be very holistic in carrying on their function. So we just want to say to the bereaved family, we hope that the police is conducting investigation and come up with the findings to the public. It's the same thing we saw the other day on the grounds of the Capitol. We saw that on the grounds of the Capitol, where the regime speaker ordered the police to break into the vehicle of District Number 10 Representative Yeke Koluba. The policemen are supposed to know about law enforcement. The police are supposed to know about criminal justice. The police are supposed to be the last to get involved with such act, to be used by politicians without proper consultation. No lawmaker is supposed to tell policemen to beat on somebody. No lawmaker has the right to do that. To order a policeman to beat somebody or order a policeman to break into somebody's car. That auto boozing right there is a crime. In the presence of the lawmakers, on the grounds of the Capitol, look, there are probable causes to indict the regime speaker, Richard Coons. We all listen to the recordings instructing the supporters, because that's how I call them. Then the policeman dress up in his uniform, taxpayer money. And folks, let me say this. I just don't want to believe that those officers that were involved into breaking into the vehicle of the representative, I don't want to believe that those guys contacted their bosses. I just don't want to believe that. I just don't want to believe that those guys contacted their superior. That, oh, we were given instruction by the regime speaker to do X, Y, Z. Sir, we call you to have you informed. Should we go ahead or we should stay away? You take instruction from your bosses. Don't see yourself as a regime police. You are there for every government that will come to power. You are there for every government that will come to power. You're not Unity Party police. You're not Liberty Party police. You're not CDC police. You're Liberia National Police. That's why they say Liberia National Police. They didn't say party police. So those guys that did that act, they don't warrant being into the system because those are bad apples. So you need to omit them from the system because they are not good example. Not at all. Well, policemen are supposed to be protected, protect and serve. Not even having that second thought to say, no, I'm a policeman. I cannot be used by these politicians. Because when they are gone tomorrow, I will still be policeman. And my ethics did not say this. So I'm not going to get myself involved. So where did they get that instruction from? There was a recording 5 months ago prior to the burning of the Capitol that led to the police calling on the District Number 9 representative for questioning. Because he made that statement 5 months ago prior to the burning of the Capitol. But he was called for questioning. He was called for questioning. So is Richard Coon above the law, or because he's regime speaker? So what is the police telling us? Why are they being used by these politicians? I'm telling you, folks, there are probable causes to indict the regime speaker. When Liberia was celebrating her 68th Armed Forces Day celebration, we saw one of the lawmakers told gangsters to go and break into the office of the constitutional speaker on a national holiday while we were celebrating our Armed Forces Day program at the Barclay Training Center. Collar and his gangsters went and broke into the office of the constitutional speaker, the man who is being recognized as the constitutional speaker. But we haven't gotten any redress relative to that from the police, but we have not heard any statement condemning the act by Richard Coon, instructing the beating of journalists, damaging the phone of one of the journalists. And let's also say a big thank you to the original countryman, Thomas Nimnetwe, who got a brand new 16 Pro Max for the journalist whose phone got damaged in the process, Winston Blighty of Varna FM. Thank you, Honorable Twe, for that intervention. Where are we heading as a country? And the president sits there, he listens and sees all of these things happening, but he doesn't speak to it because he's 100% in support of it. The churches have gone dead, the mosques have gone dead, the civil society organizations, they are all gone dead. Nobody's speaking to these ills. The lawlessness has taken over our country. Everybody want to do their own thing because they got some connection to some big hands. And Colonel Gregory Coleman, the Inspector General, you have to do the needful. Those guys need to be disrobed, subjected to investigation. And you need to come up with the findings to the public. Because those are bad apples in the system. Cannot allow them, into the system. Police officer jumping into lawmaker car, breaking into lawmaker car. I listened to one criminal justice practitioner who wrote on the social media and said, as a student of criminal justice, this is the role that the police was supposed to play. Call the honorable man, Yeke Koloba, Chief, where your vehicle is parked, you are asked to remove your vehicle. Failure on his part, call the tow truck and take the vehicle to the impounding ground. Take the vehicle to the impounding ground. And whatever fine you're supposed to impose on Yeke Koloba, based on your own standards, you impose that fine. That was the right thing to do. But to drill the lawmaker car, where the entire world was witnessing, drill the lawmaker car, enter the lawmaker car. So he's claiming now that he had 25,000 United States dollars in the vehicle, 2 million plus Liberian dollars, his laptop, his iPhone, and other personal belongings. So let's see what is going to happen. And I know what Yeke said. I don't want to believe Yeke is going to take that route, that he will buzz the regime speaker vehicle. I don't want to believe Yeke will take that route. because the man who Yeke is supporting is not a person of violence. I don't think Onati Kofa, the speaker, will allow Yeke to go that route because they are referred to as the rule of law caucus. So I don't want to believe Yeke is going to take that route. He said it, but I don't want to believe he's going to do it. Because of the man who he supports. So, Richard Cohen has not been called by the Liberian National Police for questioning because Richard Nambe Cohen, the regime speaker, is above the law. That's what the police is telling us. And that very place that Yeke parked his vehicle, he went there today and parked to the same place. He went there and parked to the same spot today. See, some of us who got these phones that can go on the internet. I know you saw it today, except for those who don't have Android phone that can access the internet. But folks, there is a total breakdown in the rule of law. Where are we heading as a country? USAID has suspended her programs to Liberia. So do you know how many of our families have gone out of jobs? About 30 some more projects that were being sponsored by USAID has been shut down. It is because of the lawlessness that is taking place in our country. So they're going to revisit, and those ones that are very important, essential, are the ones they're going to maintain. But some of our brothers and sisters have already gone out of job. People are taking the laws into their own hands. But one good thing I know, Liberians will continue to talk, speak of the ills. They will use their mouth, they will not use guns. Because real men don't take guns. Real men discuss the issues. Real men, when they are discussing the issue, they don't use invectives. They discuss the subject matter. So I know Liberians are resolved. The issue of war is the thing of the past. We'll continue to battle with our mouths. The things that were ugly yesterday are the very things that are fine today under the watch of Joseph Walker. Those guys are getting rich overnight. tampering with the budget, doing all kinds of things. When it was yesterday, it was bad. Today is good. Look, it's not easy in this country. The country is tough. Even some of us who God can bless with $5 some days when we don't have it. Then think about those who just don't have the means. Think about what we can go through. When we have a government that said they have come to rescue us because we were drowning, they have come to rescue us. Do we see any signs of being rescued? All we see is violation of the Constitution and the laws of our country. That's all we see. Government officials buying plastic cars, looting our coffers, and nothing is being done. So Georgia's for the country. Georgia were looting the country. So Liberians, let's think Liberia, let's love Liberia, let's build Liberia. We have come to rescue you. Are we being rescued? I sat at an intellectual forum today, and I carefully listened to some of the young guys expressing how disappointed they are in the government that they supported. Because the change they said they were opting for is not the change they are seeing. All they are seeing is massive looting of our coffers by Joseph Wagner and his legs. The boys came to power very broke. So they're not taking some because they know that the old man is not in charge. That's why they are doing stuff and going with impunity. The people that I used to be making noise yesterday, where are they? You can't hear them talking anymore. We'll sit here and any good thing that this government would do, would tell you. If the government does bad, we'll tell you. If the government does good, we'll tell you. But when there is a breakdown in the rule of law, what do you expect? The lawlessness will be all over the place. That is exactly what is happening. Motorcyclists chasing after police, according to them, vandalizing their properties or government properties. This is scaring, though. Scaring. I remember when we were growing up, when you see a policeman, you would know that, hey, you can't even use or to even shout when you see a policeman because the way they used to carry themselves in the community, the very police, we all live together. But even if you hear a policeman living within your area to even fight, you will get scared because you know the police will catch you and the police will punish you. I remember they will not take you to the police station. They will punish you right in front of your parents, those police that were living close to us in the community. I grew up in a harsh community. But it's not everybody that grew up in a harsh community harsh. Yeah, we see things happening in front of us. You know that's supposed to make us harsh. But when something is not part of you, take it or leave it, there is no way it can be a part of you. So those days when you see a policeman or a policewoman somewhere, you will counter yourself and say, police are around here. But this time when you see the police, the fear is not there. Yeah, they say the police are our friends. But the way how the police is being used by the politicians in this country, it is scary. The closeness that some of us have with some of the senior police officers, like the IG, the one or two, they are all friends. They are all friends. Greg and I, we were at the funeral the other day at the Evergreen St. Moses funeral home in Bombay. And we had a wonderful conversation, the Inspector General and I. We had a wonderful conversation. Well, Greg, it is time for you to act. It is time for you to act. Don't be used by these politicians. You have a reputation to keep. 6 years is not the end of the world. 6 years is not forever. One year plus gone now, we're in 2 years. So, what was demonstrated by the police on the grounds of the Capitol, those police officers, they are bad apples. This very Yeke Koluba man yesterday, he was being celebrated. He was being hailed by the very United Party folks. Some of them who are condemning Yeke today are the very ones that were celebrating Yeke yesterday. So what are they telling us? Or it was bad yesterday, right? Or it was good yesterday, but today is bad. We saw Yeke Koluba reading down insults on the former president and his family. The same thing he's doing today. So what's the difference? As some of you are saying that, oh, Yeke is rude, Yeke is that, Yeke is this, and everything. All of the adjectives being used on him. But this is the very Yeke man that you people hailed yesterday because it was George Weah time. But today, Joseph Boakai time? No. You don't want to hear about Yeke. And you went to the extent of making Yeke your deputy campaign manager for Montserrat County under the so-called light Darius Dillon for Montserrat County. Yeke was the deputy campaign manager for Unity Party during the campaign period. The very Yeke man you're calling Bugu man today, yesterday Yeke was your hero. And Yeke is telling us that he will never ever recognize Richard Cohen as the speaker because Richard Cohen is illegitimate. So he's not going to recognize him. The house should be a sacred place. But you people have desecrated the sacredness of the Capitol. Your profile on the bidding, your pointed at CDC lawmakers. And so my own police friend and cause the whole case here that blah. Because no evidence. The kind of question said they were asking yesterday. You know, so you saw those representatives coming out of the police station yesterday being celebrated by their supporters. And when this news came out about my district where I do have voting rights in District 16, I was one of those who took to the Facebook and said Dixon Siebel is a man of high moral standards. He would never get himself involved in such act because this is a man that I grew up with in the same community. From my house to Dixon Siebel house was just a minute walk. And we grew up in that community as brothers and sisters. We grew up as one family in a place in Yucatan called Funde. So when I took the Facebook that Dixon Siebel cannot get himself involved in such an act, I knew from whence I was coming from. So Richard Cohen, who calls himself the regime speaker, instructed his men to bust into the vehicle of another sitting lawmaker, and he's yet to be called by the Liberia National Police for questioning. He's yet to be called by the Liberia National Police. So all that thing where you say, you can say you pause Richard Kunka, you will do that one. Yeke is not going to take that route. Trust me. Yeke is not going to take that route. But one good thing I know, Yeke will not stop speaking to the ills in this government because he was one of those who brought this on us. When we said that you want to change, Joe Blanca was not the change. Some of you branded us all kinds of names, even some of our own friends. In the presence of Austin Kawa one night, there was a guy who, for no reason, I just slowed down to talk to Austin. Austin came to me to the car for us to talk. And this guy just turned around and just started saying stuff to me. And this is somebody who I know. So I was like, hey, Wendell, calm down. Austin said to me, Wendell, calm down. I said, Austin, forget it. I'm not gonna get involved with this guy. He can say whatever he wants to say. He has his right. I'm not going to reduce myself to that because I'm a peaceful person. I got my own ugly ways, like any other human being. I know where and when to vent out my anger. So I'm not going to get myself involved with this chat. So some of our own friends who are telling them this person will not be the change for us. So man, your Joe, we have people there, you're this, you're that. Since Joe Waka took over this country, there has been total breakdown in the rule of law. When somebody who opened their arms to you, when you were dying, that person came to your rescue and said, we cannot sit here and allow our former vice president, in this condition. We'll do everything in our weak ways to get him out of this country to seek further medical attention. And who did that? The former president, George Manuel Weah, great man walking, GMW. He did that. Do you know how much this man was being taken care of? But what did Joseph Waka do? He paid him back with ingratitude. Today, he's being disrespected by Joe Waka. He was denied the VIP launch at the Rabat International Airport, the very VIP launch that he modernized. He was denied access. Too many disrespect on the former president. During George Weah's 6 years, how many of you heard that, oh, this other security person disrespected the former vice president? How many of you? Never, ever. This man was always accorded respect by the former president. But see what he's paying him back with? Ingratitude. So is this old man ready or serious for reconciliation? When people that he appointed in his government during the campaign that were making threats, what did he do? He compensated them with fabulous position. Princess Humani sits at the Internal Affairs Ministry. This man is on record for threatening to kill a state security. Joseph Waka turned around and compensated him with a fabulous job. This is the man that said he came for change. He have come to rescue. Our country is drowning. Liberians are catching tough time. The prices of basic commodity skyrocketing. You go in the market now, forget it. Everything high, UP up. Everything going up. But they say they come to rescue us. They say they come to rescue us. But we're catching it a day in our own country. Catching it is not easy. Survival of the fittest. But folks, tough time don't last. Only tough people do. Liberians, we're not going to go back into the dark days. We're not going to reintroduce, or we don't want the reoccurrence of jungle justice in our country, because we know what the war did to us as a country. Other countries were progressing, Liberia were retrogressing. See, oldest African republic in this modern Asian time, we still struggling for road connectivity. Electricity is a challenge in our country. Pipe-borne water is a challenge in our country. Commercial transportation is a problem in our country. Pensioners are complaining about salaries, their pension fees. So all these things happening in our country. Well, our job we had time, we have people that would sit on the radio and say, "Your tit tie, you put it on the street, you burn it. You roll over there, you block the road, nobody should pass." But the Constitution that provides that people can peacefully assemble. When they did, they were being chased after, brutalized by police and state security. And Gregory Cuomo, who I know, trust me, those police officers that were involved into the Oakland Act with the representative vehicle, those guys would not be in the system. And I trust Gregory Cuomo for that. Because the politicians, you only assign to them. You don't take instruction from them. You don't take instruction from them. You are only there to protect and serve. So Richard Kuhn, to allow you people to be used by him, when you lose your job, Richard Kuhn will not make you get it back. Except where they will go on a cover and say, those police people, nobody should tamper with them. They were acting on instruction. Then we know that justice is selective. But this is a sad time for our country. All we can do is to pray for the right things to happen. Joseph Boakai is not, mentally strong. He's not physically strong. So we understand that's nature. His vice president said it. That 2017, yes. 2023, no. But we didn't listen. The very man who said all of those things about him, he went and handpicked the man as his vice president. The other day, we saw the president at a function where he was supposed to go to deliver his speech. He was going the other side until the security had to call him and say, "No, chief, this is where you're supposed to go." At old age. At old age. I have passed my middle 50. So I'm getting there gradually. These things happen. when you're getting old, you can't get young again. The things that you used to do when you were 20, you can't do it when you're 60. It's not possible. Your strength is reducing day by day. So you're not going to be the same. Nature says that. You're not going to be the same. Joseph Walker is 80 years old, 80 years plus. I don't know whether that political age, but just to inspect a handful of people, he couldn't do it. He had to get on the pickup truck to driving around to inspect the troops. And others was saying, oh man, our old age team and where every day the president will be walking, shaking people, inspecting troops. Those days are gone. We're in a modern age now. They were comparing Liberia to other countries. Say for China Army. China Army, when they come outside on their Army Day, the president want to go and inspect all the people who walk and say he went inspect. You're talking about millions of human beings. Just Nigeria that next door. The strength of the Nigerian army triple our population. Just the army, I'm talking about the country, the army alone, the strength of the armed forces of Nigeria, they triple our population. So take, for instance, when you get like 15, 20,000 men line up, you know what you're talking about? They aren't talking about you got millions of men in arms. That's a big difference. The woman couldn't make it because of his age. And we know some of you in this government, they are not happy with the way things are going. But when you talk right now, they will do you just a map in your Matthew Nyeplu, he saw it, Mr. President, this scholarship thing is a scam. Let us not endorse it. President said, who are you to question my authority? Who are you? He went on to suspend Matthew. And Matthew later on has had to turn in his resignation. What kind of government is this? That people are not being checkmated by the president. The president is encouraging his lieutenants to steal our money, taxpayer money. I'm told that beginning Monday, all of the petty traders, I spoke with one or two persons today, but we need to confirm from the Monrovia City Corporation. We've been told by some of the local street vendors, some of the folks that are selling on the sidewalk, we've been told that they were given ultimatum to register their business or businesses. And they have up to Monday. If you, the person called to me, if he's selling on the sidewalk, you're doing petties on what he's selling, the sandwich bread with Sonny on the sidewalk, they say you pay $30. So we watching. The motorcyclists today, I'm told they were paying $25 prior to the coming of this government, but they are now paying more than $100 for registration. I hope some of you motorcyclists that are listening will call and debunk or confirm this information. So the hardship is on us. You got a common man will say, we look for it. You look for it. But telling you, you ain't listening to us. This man, Ellen Harding, parked, according to him, in the garage for 12 years. But he was still taking taxpayer money as a salary. He said he was parked for 12 years. But when Joseph Walker won the election, some of us, we were bitter because we did not vote Joseph Walker, because we knew that Joseph Walker was not the right change. So we did not vote him. I personally did not vote Joseph Walker. But when Joseph Walker won the election, after he was announced as the winner, we all embraced it. Said this is a new day for our country. Since this man got 42 years in governance, he's going to make the difference. And he came with his platform at rest. It's not easy. They're really arresting us. They're very arresting us. So, fellow Liberians, we need to continue to pray for our country, because I know Liberians are resolved. Nobody want to hear about that thing called war. We're not thinking about war in this country. We don't want war in this country. We only engage the government fit to fight. We speak of the ills in this government and any other government that will come after this government. Even the George Weah that some of us supported. We were on this very radio lambasting at officials of government. And we were calling on the president to have some of these people, based on the report, to have some of them suspended and fired. And he did. We're not saying everything about President Weah was 100% perfect. Everything was roses. No. There were challenges. And President Weah, at the time, he himself, he knew. But he was not the kind of a lazy person where we allow his officials to go loose. Some Liberians are blaming President Weah today because they expected him to what? Prosecute former officials of government. Who were caught in the web, to have them prosecuted. And he set up a team to do that. But Joseph Walker is not speaking to some of the things happening in his government. So, what do we not mean to say that everything that's happening in our country the president is in the know. Everything happening in this country, the president is in the know. From the onset of that speaker crisis, we expected the president to make quick intervention to have that issue resolved. Because when you do anything outside the law, it's wrong. Anything you do outside the law is wrong. Are we sitting here and saying to you that Ponati Kofa is a saint? No. If you want to remove Ponati Kofa because you feel he's involved with clandestines, give him the due process. Give him the due process. Go to session, present your case, get the numbers, and boot him out. But a bunch of renegades put themselves together, calling themselves Majority Bloc, headed by Regime Speaker Richard Namwikun. Why Richard Kun is so desperate for power? Why he doesn't want to do the right thing? Why is he so desperate for power? Why is he so desperate for power? Is that how you want to be referred to as a speaker? Is that the legacy you want to leave? That your speakership is not being recognized? And Fonati is not going to give up the fight because he is a lawyer. He knows the law. He's not going to give up the fight. And the people of District Number 2, Grand Coulee County, have spoken. They have spoken. That Ponati Kofa, they are with you in this fight. Don't give up. Do not give up this fight. Since Joseph Boakai wants to have a constitutional speaker and an unconstitutional speaker, let's continue like this. And at the end of the day, we are the ones that are going to feel the pain. We are the ones that are going to suffer it. And that's exactly what is happening to us. Our people who are supposed to have oversight, our people who are supposed to represent us, our people who are supposed to talk for us, they are not fully being represented. Ponati Kofa, Nyama basically say, you are the constitutional speaker, you're being recognized by the Supreme Court. But when you go to session, you don't have a quorum, don't do business. Because any business you do, are ultra virus. So don't do business. Majority Bloc, quote unquote Majority Bloc, you have a quorum, but you don't have a speaker. So don't do business. But the executives still doing business with Richard Kun. The senators are still doing business with Richard Kun because the Justice Minister, who is the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, misinterpreted what the Supreme Court said. So because of that, our country is in total constitutional crisis. And Oswald Tue is one of the lawyers in this country that a lot of us got respect for. He's a very big brother. We've come from the same community. But he's not proceeding rightly. Because the justice minister is supposed to be one of those, because according to the governance structure, the justice minister can disagree and agree with the president. No, Mr. President, we can't do this. He is the justice minister, Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia. He can disagree and agree with the president. So he was to tell the president, Mr. President, we are not proceeding rightly. If there is an issue with Fonati Kopa, let's have our guys go to session, get the numbers, and have Fonati out. But he interpreted the rulings of the Supreme Court in favor of the majority bloc, giving them the victory power. So they say they have won. They're not going to go to session. So Nyamangbe explained to us that the two groups, Fonati, you are the speaker, but you don't have a quorum. The majority bloc, you got quorum, but you don't got speaker. So what does it say to you, fellow Liberians? That we are heading for more constitutional crisis. Because these guys don't want to give up. Richard Kuhn swear to him until the water that he will be speaker, and he's the speaker of the Republic of Liberia. Okay, the executive branch will recognize you. The senators will recognize you. You went to the president church. The president church. The preacher man did not recognize you as the speaker. Mother Bio, he did not recognize you as the speaker. Because Fonati has not resigned the speakership, the law says he is the constitutional speaker. Alex Tyler time, they were not having two speakers. Edwin Melvin Snow time, they were not having two speakers. And people like Thomas Fala of all persons, Thomas Fala of all persons, to disrespect his boss. Thomas Fala not supposed to be answering George Weah call, somebody like Thomas Fala, who came from nowhere to become somebody. The man who made you, is that how you decide to pay him back? Like the rubbish Solomon George was saying the other day. How can you pay somebody back in that form and manner? Somebody who made you. We were growing up when Solomon George family came from Sierra Leone on Center Street. His sisters, his big brother, you know, they came from Sierra Leone. A former DJ who nobody knew, George Weah came and lifted his hands and made him representative for 12 years. See how he decided to pay George Weah back. Solomon George of all persons, Thomas Fallon? Is that how you decide to bite the hands that failed you? But, you know, the former president with a peaceful nature. And whereas some of us can be saying, John, he doesn't see it like that. He will stay open arms to them because that's his nature. Some of us say, I don't even want to see that man around Georgia. I don't even want to see the other person around Georgia. But Georgia is different. The people that seek his downfall are the very people that he can lift. That's the kind of person he is. That's the kind of nature he carries. Do you know how many of these guys in this country today that they didn't have it to, do their masters, to do their BSc, and they were funded by George Weah? Gafwan is a living testimony to that. Samora Colley is still around. He used to be the one that used to disburse the check or get the check to him, go pay your school fees. There are a lot of them around it. But how many times you heard George Weah saying these things? What kind of Liberians we got to pray? We just got to keep praying. We just got to keep praying for our country. Let's put these people's feet to fire. We elected them to do the right thing. The country is tough. Everybody just enriching themselves. In less than 1 year, all these guys are living fabulous life. They're going big time. They're driving expensive cars. Going to these Lebanese boys, begging them and everything. Putting themselves into the pockets of these Lebanese boys. No wonder why the guys continue to tell us that they control the system. They control the system. Government give you money, go buy stuff for your office and design your office. They will take the money, put it in your pocket, and go beg the Lebanese men. That's how the guys are behaving. They're getting rich. Because the men know Joseph Walker is weak. They know that the president is weak. He's not going to take the necessary action. All the people then the president suspended. Say, yeah, the people they are suspended, we subject them to investigation. When last you heard about any investigation? All that thing that apply. Just to show to you that, yes, the president taking action. The other day, the office of the first lady, two staffers from the office of the first lady, they were involved in the financial scandal. So you cannot be selective in fighting corruption. Because when you do, you will not achieve anything. You shield one person and then you allow the other person to suffer. I was told by an insider that somebody at the Ministry of State, when anybody wants to get in contact with the president, if you're a small potato, you pay $200 US. If you big potato, they charge you high just to meet the president. Somebody is there at the ministry collecting that money for some of the big guys at the Ministry of State. This is an insider giving me this information. That a pastor wanted to meet the president, and the pastor was asked to pay the amount of $200. And not just to go meet the president, or you have to pass through one or two presidents before you get to the president. But before you pass by that person, you got to pay that money. I had a man running the country. The boys are cutting the shots. They're enjoying themselves because they know their boss is very weak. But folks, let's go to the phone lines. Too many trending issues in our country. We just want to announce to you again that the sporting world in our country is mourning the loss of one-time team manager. I think he was team manager for the George Weah 11. Walter Anderson. He was popularly known as Kito. He passed away yesterday morning. All right. It's past midnight. And so he died yesterday morning. Walter Anderson, who was popularly known as Kito. 2-3 months ago, I hosted him on the throwback. And because there were a lot of doubts about the existence of Wani Boto. And Skito came here on the radio and explained to us, yes, the name Wani Boto existed. He brought pictures to that effect. And I knew because Riaka Peter, my uncle, told me that, yes, Wani Boto played football. He knew Wani Boto to play together. The former Assistant Minister for Coast Guard Affairs under the Samuel Kayando administration, Mr. Samuel Wiaka Peters, Sr. He was the first person that told me that. And a late big brother of mine, I was opportune to see in his house a photograph of Wani Boto and other players, like the late Samuel Burnett. So Skitos came here and told us everything about Wani Boto. From Claratown to Newtown and all of that. Skito passed away on yesterday. I'm told the body was deposited at the St. Moses Funeral Parlor. So the football world is mourning in Liberia. Skito, one-time team manager for the George Weah 11 and former deputy chief referee of Republic of Liberia under Mark Dummer. A lot of you know the name Skito. He's no more. So we just thought it wise to let you know. We broke the news to you this yesterday morning. So we decided to, break the news to you again on this morning. So folks, let's take a few calls and then we go home. This is the Nighttime Spain. This is the final edition for tonight. But our country. And those of you watching us, you can drop your comments. What do you make of the conversation we are having tonight? You can drop your comments there. If you don't have the time to call, you can drop your comments. We'll read them out for you. So the country I don't know when we'll have a true liberator. I just don't know when we'll have a true liberator. Somebody who will come like George Weah and put this country first. Somebody who was very constructive in their engagement with our partners. You got to do this for our country. You got to do that for our country. We need this in our country. We need that in our country. He was trying his weak ways to connect Liberia through road connectivity because it brings about economic dividends. But today, we have a government that said they have come to rescue it, but we can't see any sign of being rescued. All we see in high places of government, massive corruption, looting our wealth, looting our resources, while we, the ordinary citizens, we go to bed on empty stomach. Go into the various communities and see what the people are going through. You just put yourself in the shoes of some of them where you don't have money. You that can handle money, where you don't have money, how you can be so desperate to get money, and think about some of them who just don't have means to get money. How they're surviving with their family. And it is the responsibility of the government to provide the basic social services for its people. That's why we are challenging, that's why we are engaging this government to do the right things for the people. That's all we want from them. When you do the right thing, we'll celebrate you. We know there are some people in this government who are doing everything possible to leave a good legacy. But with the leader they have, it will not show. That legacy will not show. Because there are a bunch of unscrupulous individuals who are prioritizing themselves than putting the country interest first. But this too is Liberia. When we say these things, other people will say, oh, the guys, they are inciting the people. Who inciting people? Will never do that. I'm one person, I don't like trouble. I don't like trouble. Because I know when you get in trouble, I know what can happen to you. You will spend unnecessary money that you're supposed to do other things with. You will end up spending money running behind one so-called lawyer from here to there, eating your money, and cannot find any, redress from your issue. So I always love to, abide by the law. No amount of intimidation or threats would make me to do stuff out of the way. No. That's why I don't get into people. I don't get into people. If I get it, I don't get it, I'm by myself. I know someday God is going to make a way. Because I know my today is better off than my yesterday. So I know my tomorrow will be better than my today. So I just got to keep praying. God's time is the best. Don't get yourself involved with blood money. Don't do things that will bring shame and disgrace to your family. Wait for God's time. God's time is the best. Because he's the only person that can say yes, and no man or woman on this planet Earth can say no. When God has spoken, it's final. So don't get yourself involved with ritual to get money. Don't do things out of the way to get money. Tough time don't last. What the tough people do. Keep your head up, keep your focus, engage the government where there is when there is the need for that. If you see the government going astray, it is your right to put them on track. Because all of the things that we do here is something to motivate the government. That's why we don't allow people to call on the radio to insult, to cause people. Deal with the issue. Deal with the issue. So let me take a few calls. You, if you're there, you're listening, and you want to join the conversation. 0776-104-104, 0886-500-104. The line assigned to the female callers is 0770-297-016. And if you are outside Liberia and listening to the conversation, you want to call in, we have a WhatsApp line for you. It's +231 86 500 104. Call us and be live on the program, The Nighttime Spin. This is the final edition here for tonight. And I'm sitting here with you tonight. My name is Wendell Nimne. I'm here straight up to 1:30 tomorrow morning, at which time I'll be switching things over to Winston Hammond and Mohammed Kamara to bring you the early morning show. That's the Crime Watch in collaboration with Capayo Secure Liberia. So, folks, let's engage the phone lines and hear from you. Like I said, if you don't have the time to call and you're watching us, drop your comments there. We'll read them out for you. All right. So, hopefully next week we have all of the crews here with us. Solomon Tunis, Solomon Baka Reeves, and the man Aliyu Masale. So let me take my first call tonight or this morning. Hello? Yes, good morning. Welcome to the Nighttime Spin, sir. What's your name and where you join the conversation from?
Thank you. My name is Spirit. I'm joining you from Mombasa.
All right, my brother, you have a minute to make your contribution. Let's hear you.
Thank you for the topic of discussion. But to be truthful with you, Joseph Walker, the name Joseph Walker, the direct definition of recklessness. But for the day Joseph Walker sentences as president of the Republic of Liberia, everything we hear is lies. The rescue are turned risky. Everything the law, even the law, the Uganda law, is put that with all the respect and then violated. The first the government, I was supposed to listen to the representative law for us that they all put against. If you ever spoke to the lawmakers that.
Hello? Caller, are you there? Well, I'm afraid we lost that caller. I didn't cut you off. You went off the phone line. Let's talk to this person. Hello? Yes, good morning. Welcome to the show. Go ahead, Chris. Let's hear you.
I want to that to the family of my former boss who was the deputy chief of the Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
Your family, I want to say, it's their heart, and God gave them and God take it. I am the former head of the Republic.
Okay. What your name again, sir?
Christopher Nalende.
Okay, Chris. Go ahead. Let's hear your contribution.
So that's all.
Okay. Okay, Chris. Thanks for calling and do have a pleasant morning. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Oh, with that?
Yeah, how are you?
Okay, for security reason, I will not call my name because I'm part of the Unity Party, so I will not call my name.
Okay.
Okay. You know, this country is very happy. Like you said, you go into the communities, you find people going to bed without food. You find people honking all around, everywhere in the whole country. It's not only in the city or in Monrovia and its surroundings. God said in His Word, we should not give the children food to the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So, we in Liberia, we have given our food or the children food to the dogs. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's go back to the phone lines and take this person. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Well, my name is George Pueblo. I call you for the 250 bill.
Go ahead, George. Tusafi is bereaved.
Yeah, it is true. I want to say no mind to the family. This man, all this, from people. We are not thinking for 1 or 2 weeks, I just got to hear that yes.
You just heard it from the radio?
Yeah, I just heard it from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he's dead.
Okay, so I say, to the Siri family. We are in the community of South Sudan. But to give for the what you have explained, I want to thank you. Thank you for what is put in our head. We also know the guilt in government. But you see, what happened is that I don't know whether it's where in this country we are now saying a regular. Somebody will advocate, I want to do this, I want to do that, get behind that person, the person get there, that is a different issue.
Mm.
The rescue team that we all are depending on are sent to what? Rascality, eating money, get ticketed. Lie! So, as you said, we need to pray. But the most important thing, and what got me afraid is the law makes sense. When they want to break down the law and the constitutional speaker process is no, that means, the army will take over the state. This is what here, because lawlessness is not good for a country. With one law, you can't do anything good in a country. So this is my contribution. Please let us pray so that the army will not take over this country.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have the ambassador of Dole community on the line, Daniel Saki, who is popularly known as Dada Ward. Dada Ward, good morning and welcome to the show.
And I said, thank you very much. I'm Daniel Saki and I joined you this morning. What's on my mind is having to do with the police. As I remember, the police is this day, they are too violent over the citizen. So me. And I had to so be a yellow brother now. Everybody start out running around with the issue of war. Everybody don't want to be peaceful. But what happened in the country, they take there's too much. You can't take someone to look to them about 700 motorbike and all that motorbike and challenge. You'll only be on 200 pieces and will come back to the motorcycle. So who move the motorbike? They can't rest. You'll be auctioned for cheap price. 250, 300, 500, 400, just like that. You got to say that they feel that the country is probably want to control. They have a hooligan president who you already sitting for because president we are ready to take election. So you go to the place and they will see the face again. They put out a secretary for take over now. See the left. If they so the message about anybody really in the public see that they have to go to the put it down. They still taking a fake one over. I can tell you for free, but if they put it, they will suspend. They're going to have because they're scared. Or men who going to a photo of a speech, even the way we did, we will put a no, and the president. We can put out a man, but I won't put it because let's see. But we have to say, we will be caught and retain the peace.
And so that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing to maintain the peace.
I guess I'm a full engineer. I work for car, I get my father all the way down to stay with to work out. When you want to remember what I say, when you go to that, I go to one side of the fish. And then more about a part of the when you put the order and clean my order, when you want to have what you will set up. Now we get out of
Wow. Thank you very much, Dada War. He's the ambassador accredited to Dual Community. Let's take another caller here. Let's talk to this person. Caller, good morning. Yes, good morning and welcome to the show. Welcome, Chokon. Let's hear you.
And nothing else will get to our body. They get there, you are addressing it here. So there is not your personal number. Unless you are already not getting the job, or because anybody who care about what's going to get tonight, call me up tomorrow, I get a job myself.
Okay.
So I need your personal number to talk to you.
Just call me up. Call me after the show. I'll talk to you, okay?
Okay, on the same number, right?
On the same number, I will give you my number, but I can't call my number on the air. So call me after the show.
Okay, no problem. I'll stay listening.
Okay, let's talk to Joseph Colley from the United States. Joe, good morning from Liberia.
Hey, good morning, Brother Wendell, and to our Liberian people. Hey, man, every day, thanks for the show again, the sacrifices all of you are making for the Liberian people, all the necessary informations. I know it's not easy in the country. You guys are being threatened by a lot of, people around, but they ought to know that this is the only Liberia that we have. And, back to the topic, my brother, I sympathize greatly with the coach, Walter Penner. We all knew him,
That's Walter Anderson.
Okay, Walter Anderson, we all knew him, sympathy to the family. But back to the topic, my brother, with this, our father or our leader, the president. Look, this is the reason why, for all the 12 years, the man himself said he was a whole car park. This is the reason that we all can see. It was good that George Weah stepped aside so that he can take this place so we all can see him, how well he can play. You understand? Because if these things could have been done for the international community were there, it was going to be a disaster for the Liberian people. With all these things displaying in front of them at the time, he was going to be the leader, or trying to exhibit some of the kind of attitude, and with those people being there, it was not going to be good for us. The government was going to be tarnished. I see why, the old man just kept him on the side and said, look, man, just sit in your corner there and sit tight. Now we all can see, because he does not mean good for this nation. Only to bring his colleagues, enrich himself and do whatever they got to do, for their retirement. Look at the cool man that they created. Now we got two speakers. They got a self-made, or how you call it, regime speaker sitting down there who wants some relevant, and nobody is giving it to him. He's so frustrated over the idea and just coming on with this kind of rebel attitude. It's not good for Liberia. Like I said, we have gone through and we have passed those dark days. We don't want to go back to those dark days. But he's not getting the relevant. Nobody paying attention to him. And I will urge Mr. Kofa, please, the Liberian people are on your side. And, stay tight. They are your foundation. They look up to you. This man is being rejected by the Liberian people and even the international community. You can see. So I beg you, please stay hanging in there. No matter what they do, let the Lord take a course. The Lord is on your side and the Liberian people are with you. Well, this regime, man, look, my people, I'm telling you, it's not easy. I know some of all we are from Lofa, but it brings shame because it reflects on every one of our children. People will be looking at all, they say, oh yeah, oh, the Lofa man was there, what he did. And look, I guess maybe there might be some healing agenda for even the former, how to call it, finance minister. There might be some healing things that were not being shown that make that man to leave that job. But we will all see. It's right before us. Nothing going behind. It will be right before us, and we all see it. God bless you, brother. You'll take good care.
Thank you, Joseph Colley, calling from the United States. Let's come back to the local lines. Let's take 2 more calls, and we'll go to the comment section, read out the comments, and come back and take some more calls. Good morning.
Morning. My name is Peterson Santos Jr. I'm speaking on a brush meeting this morning.
Let's hear you.
I got few things to discuss tonight, but the first one will be on the accident that occurred yesterday. The day before yesterday.
I hope you can talk that in 1 minute.
Let me be frank. This morning I listened to one of you, and we were lying on the radio saying that the car was running the hill and the car failed, and this particular motorcyclist got killed, which it was not. This car went down the hill and they slowed down right there. It's where I live. My point here is that I didn't see reasons why they have to call ESU yesterday on those motorcyclists and to see that motorbike. The men that came when the guy got killed and the king is too worried about this fucking crowd, and my brother self has too worried about it like crowd. But all of a sudden, I saw 105. 105 called ESU people and the king. The king, those guys were not doing anything at all. I just saw them, the guy went to those guys motorbike. So the other group that keep on balance view, they were teaching those children.
Hello, caller, are you there? Caller, are you there?
Two things out of your view. But what the police people were doing was wrong. The rest of those motorcycles. Every process, it goes right through to register those guys right through to register that bag, but also to go and get a driver license. So I agree with police director and for one or two to reconsider that restrictions. All those motorbike is for children to take that motorbike back. Secondly, this particular government, I campaign for this government, but brother, I don't know what to say. Why at least right now, I am very ashamed. I don't know what to say again. I can remember I took my own car, I went to Lima, I run campaign, and my car broke down, up and down, 2 years, no job, and I'm thankful. And I keep telling my own Lima people that I'm not going to work near anybody anymore. I'm not going to go to the Prime President office anymore. I'm not going to call COS anymore. We 2029 is not far from here anymore.
Thank you.
Anything I want to do, let them go ahead and do it. To know that the only thing I will tell my brother, the sisters out there, is that let us keep the peace. Let respect the law, and I pray that we all will be successful one. God bless you tonight.
Thank you very much. The WhatsApp line is +231 86 500 104. Those of you outside Liberia and listening to the show, you can call us on the WhatsApp line and make your contribution. All right, it's +231 86 500 104. And the female line is 0770297016. Others numbers to call as 0776 104 104 086 500 104. All right, let's go to the comments. Let's read a few comments, and when we come back, maybe we can squeeze in 2 or 3 more calls, and then we wrap up on this edition of the Nighttime Spain. I'm staying here with you. My name is Wendell Nimne. Let me take this caller, and then we'll come to the section, the comment section. Good morning. Okay, it's like we lost that caller, so let's quickly go to the comment section. All right, so let me get to the comment section. I'm already there, and I'm getting ready to read out the comments. So let's see. It says here, my name is okay, Moses Royer. Says following you from Maryland County. George Watkins Jr. says I'm following you from my comfort zone in district number 13, Montserrat County. All right, Joseph Michael Cortez is following you from Tottenham Burke City, Birmingham County. Victoria Badio says I'm following you from my comfort zone district number 12. Okay, Gatti Passaway says hi. Victoria says following you from District 12. Rap Cooper says watching you from Denver, Colorado, USA. Claudia Allison says and Abraham Kakula says I'm following you from Grand Kibmount County. And Claudia says yeah, home again. Right, Claudia says Richard Cohn swear to his man city water. Oh, and Archie Brown says I'm watching you from Boca Mission. Good morning. Emmanuel Kelly says I'm watching you from Kelsley Boulevard, Garnersville. And Patient Davis says good morning. J News Springbar says I'm watching you and listening. And T Edmond Twe says good morning to my Freedom FM family. Thanks for the show. I am not coming back to Liberia until Bwaka move from power. I'm waiting for my President George Weah to get in power. I'm watching you from MN. I think it's Minnesota. All right. Jenny Springbar wanted to know who died. Jenny is Walter Anderson Skito. All right. Skito is dead. And he was former deputy chief referee and former team manager for the George Weah 11. So far, so good. Those are all the comments we can take. 3 more calls and then we go home. 0776 14104, 0886 500 0776 14104, 0886 500 and 0886 500 Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Yeah, welcome to the show. What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Togo.
Let's hear you, Isaac. You have 1 minute.
Yeah, concerning the that or this is a very happy to say that issue. And when for them on their line. Or and then before it was some part of that because it's when I was in the we had the and there was the at the time. That water will come from the country. And it is now into a minimum person. So the we had a template school is coming to that. You look up about with father in the box. So we do come at the end of the day in place for that situation and come the issue when it comes to that you very much why you are claiming or you are coming down
we are listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, you know, and just imagine, find, find it.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. Let's take two more calls. This person. Hello. Yes. Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name and where you calling from? Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, well, just want to come with you with that. This problem already because the question we can't be found deal with the devil. The unity of the devil is not so for me. The unity of the God, the God to power and everything.
Thank you very much. Let's take our last call and then we'll go home. This person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning and welcome to the show. Yeah, our very last caller. What's your name and where you calling from? Go ahead, let's hear you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Folks, we not taking any more calls. We got to go. And so we say thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your contribution on this final edition of the Nighttime Spain. God's willing, I'm going to be back here next Thursday to bring you another presentation. Until then, thanks to all of you for being a part. We got to go. We'll see you another time.